Oh. Oh, it happens. Anyway, good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you might be in the world today. I am here solo today. I just wanted to, let me just fix this and I'll be right with you. Muy bien. And there's me thinking all my technical things are not working. So, welcome everybody, listeners and non listeners, listeners in the future, listeners of the now. My name is Angela, as you well know, lovely, beautiful subscribers. Thanks for listening in these times. So, today, our focus for the oncoming year is going to be, remember, if you're listening, leave a like. The focus for the oncoming year is going to be all about your soul healing. Now, some people struggle to connect with their soul, their inner being, but we aim to enlighten you in numerous ways and welcome you to bring your issues to the fore into the chat room and express the things that are causing you the pain in the most in your life. And the reason why I say this is because separate of any system, any way of living, of any routine where you're regularly feeding your spiritual energy into the area of the regular things that we all take for granted, governments, politics, religion. We are separate and hold a separate ideology. The ideology is that the peace in your soul needs to be expressed ever more so in these moments. Why? With all the confusion, wars, fighting, elections, all those sorts of really boring things that make absolutely no difference to your existence. The game is being played by others. So how do you counteract this in this coming year? How do you become strong? Hello, Maya Rose. There you are. Good day. Thanks for joining. How do we express this greater part of ourselves without pain, without suffering, without being dragged along in somebody else's direction? How do you do that? So I thought I'd explain a little bit today about certain things that will benefit you, what we've been doing that will benefit you greatly. So the past couple of months, I've been intensely researching new methods and techniques to assist the soul in this reality. The soul is infinite and non-physical. We are projected into this human body via the DNA system. Ooh, there it is. Ooh. To my right, left. To my left, your right, possibly. And it projects through your DNA. Your DNA contains all the codes, all the memories, everything that you have been in your whole entire experience, and everything that you will be. Now, this can be affected in a number of ways through the stages of life, but we're affected by the conditioning of when we are in the uterus of the mother, but also after birth, the families, the energies, the environment shapes who you are. And it could be positive, it could be negative. You could be a child that has had a tremendous, secure existence growing up without too much being imprinted on you. If you are, you're very lucky. Well done. May nature imprint on you instead. Others will have had a traumatic and stressful experience, and this also shapes the way that you live. But the main subject area of my research has been how that transfers to specific medical conditions and manifests according to the stresses that people go through in their life and the inherited predisposed trauma that affects how you live. So whatever you receive is whatever you live your life by. And it's very tricky out there in the world trying to navigate this, because our internal reality is often not in focus. What is in focus most of the time is the external. And we look to the external to satisfy our needs, our interactions with people, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So we can inherit the trauma from our parents, grandparents, ancestors. It all largely depends on how they have lived. And this energetic transference, absorption carries on through the life. And then if it is particularly traumatic and combined with a heavy cocktail of emotions, it can lead the individual out of balance and trigger certain repeat scenarios, or this what is known as the sins of the father. So many of you will relate to this, because in these times past, it hasn't all been glorious for the soul. They projected into these DNA bodies to experience certain things, to heal certain things, but we all have an internal DNA link to our ancestors, but also the infinite experiences that we have had that have also taken a massive impact into the bodies and eventually manifested as some kind of blockage, some kind of severe pain, and some kind of medical condition. So what I'm saying here is that the soul that you are connected to, the non-physical part of you, and has had a dramatic journey, one that is underestimated or not talked about because people or the medical system or people don't fully understand or have an awareness of themselves at this level. So let's talk a little bit about neural function. So our brain and central nervous system are continually sending and receiving signals to everybody that you're connected to everybody that you have been connected to, culminating in the experiences that you've had on Earth today. So the focus of Concordia this year will be trialing out these new techniques with people to see how we can improve the quality of life with your complete spiritual strength integrated into your body. And we look in a number of areas for this to help the individual. So it's a real journey. Now I'm just going to hold on there just for a little second, because it's really important. It's going to be the only scene, the experience that gets you through the reality that is being heavily condensed and concentrated so that you don't heal, so that you don't have a spiritual belief system so that you feel disconnected. If you feel disconnected at a soul level, this will be manifest through the physical form. So this is why it's so important, I feel, in these oncoming times to focus on where the strengths are, not the weaknesses of the system. And we will still be performing resolutions. We will still be working with individuals to separate them from everything that they've been blended into that isn't them. So this is a really interesting perspective, because it's not even, we're not, and I'm not going to say we because I don't really belong to that sector, but the medical sector has a lot of catching up to do here. So we're going to be looking at trials with this and see if we can formulate a set of data principles that will support this spiritual work of healing the soul. And I look forward to it. I do, because everything needs to run concurrently. I'm just going to move to the side here. You can see this body in the background here. Now, parts of the body experience different impacts, weaknesses, misalignments at various different levels. The structure will be affected if your soul has had a negative experience, and also the neural structure as per the brain there on the other side of the image. So when you can see here, when you can see the light emanation around the body, the etheric body, this is your connection to the non-physical world. This is what makes us sentient feeling beings. We take in the data through various points of the body, the skin, and also the frequencies and signals received from the cosmos, received from Earth, received from Wi-Fi, received from any, because it's signal-based, we are signal-based technology in some senses, where we communicate, we relay information, but also experience the light, the codes, the information exchange. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. So if you can imagine a scene where someone has negative thoughts about you personally, and this could be a frenemy, a partner, a random person in the street from another time, another experience. When they are relaying biochemical data in their thoughts, the negative thoughts, for example, and this is an example, they can direct that signal in your direction. But how do you cope with that? How do you cope with that pain that is being sent to you, that headache that you might suddenly receive from nowhere? And how does that affect your existence? Well, as you can see in the form behind me, what will happen, I will explain to you, is that you will receive that energy, that focus in your body. You know, I'm just giving you an idea how negative magic works, basically. You'll see how that moves in your body, and it will situate at particular points where they are thinking unconsciously about your restriction. So this is why it's really important to have conscious thought and heal the unconscious aspects of self, so that we become aware of what is being sent to us and what isn't. And when from a generational trauma perspective, we are already pre-built with a set of protocols created by the mother and father that synergize and manifest through the DNA, giving us the type of hair color we have, eyes, a skin color, and physical exterior, built upon the light from your ancestors. So we've got various combinations going on here. So one of the things, one of the conditions, that's just an example of how different signals can affect you. So I'm just going to move on and talk about how the soul's negative experiences affect you. So when a soul loses hope, so does the body, because it is part of the projection of light into matter. So when you experience such an illness such as cancer or heart disease or diabetes, this is all part of the projection and predisposition that is affecting your experience on earth. And usually when we see these top 3 killer illnesses, there's a bigger problem at play. It is a very chronic condition that you will have to work your way through the different levels of it. But ultimately, it is your soul. It is your soul indicating why you are not happy on earth. Pain is the biggest indication of what is happening. So sometimes treatments are used in the clinical manner in hospitals and the medical system that only support the body. It's us as individuals that have to do the real work to ensure that we have a seamless existence without pain and without suffering of the soul. Now, we will go into more detail with this tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the type of subject that is going to be coming up this year, and let you know that sessions are available to work with this bigger aspect of yourself, the non-physical, to achieve the material health results today. Ooh, sounds like a big subject. It really, really is. We have often no idea how we limit ourselves, our thoughts. And I've just given myself an idea of something here, of what I need to do personally for myself. And, it's all good. It's all good. And, once we begin to strengthen these connections, we can eventually heal ourselves without the influences of the external systems that will feed off your pain spiritually, but also financially. It's like, come on, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want my blood from my wrists? But actually they do. Anyway, all harvesting talk, not where we're at now. We are the most strong, infinitely resourceful beings that exist on the planet today. Yet we're led along by other people's ideas that don't really have a good track record. They only manage symptoms and don't get to the core of the issue. So I'm going to be extending these specific generational trauma sessions out into the world and telling you all about it at various times, but going more into the subject in depth as to how you can benefit from this. So every part of you is functional in the physical reality. It is the best plan for you to stay strong, because times are changing, especially this year. And we're going to see, and we are seeing, more spiritual impacts to the souls on earth because of the restrictions of the pandemic and other fear-based threats through infections, diseases, but also the aftermath of the injections that people have received. And we're seeing statistics increase in the deaths of young people whose souls literally cannot take this lack of physical function at heart level. All diseases from the heart are because of the pain that you've experienced. And then we see in the final phases of somebody's life that they begin to experience a process of neural degeneration and the accumulation of amyloid plaque, which affects every single function in the brain and creates grey matter and reduction in physical performance. Now, these, according to my findings, can be treated very easily, and you can extend your vivacity in the life. You can extend your health and well-being through physical form into your future. That is what you're looking for, to be strong, to be resilient when all the chips are down. And this is the ignition of your inner warrior being. So we're going to be exploring those issues. Do bring your issues to us here. Let's see if we can help you. Chances are we can, because we work in a very different way at Concordia Consularis. We provide a number of services to support your journey, the healing aspect for your soul, the removal of the system inputs into your experience, and your strengthening of your infinite being, so that when you reach the next incarnation, you're not going to have the problems that you experienced from your previous life and the lives of your ancestors. So this really does help on the physical level of the body, your expression to be stronger. What is required of us in these times is to be super strong beyond all else. So, lovely people, do leave a like, do subscribe, do share, but do also bring your issue to us. So thank you. On social media, you will see eventually this week that there will be more offerings for your experience, how we can help you live the ultimate life, unlimited, without fear, and knowing that your soul is stronger than any system. And I believe that with every part of my being. So, beautiful people, watching this, we shall see you tomorrow for another exciting adventure with Harrison, and looking at, and if you want to and feel to or see this, bring your issue for healing resolution. Let's see where we go and what we can achieve. Thanks very much.